Now let's interact. I'm curious to hear from you, for those of you who wish to share, who would like to share today. How else would you like to see innovation in your field of study or sector? Do type your comments in the chat box. How else would you like to see innovation in your field of study or sector? For example, I am very, very passionate about mental health. And so I hope that AI technology can be increasingly harnessed in this sector. Interestingly, in a recent study done by RAND, it found that during the height of the pandemic, a significant amount of people who used telehealth services were doing so due to mental health issues and not for physical conditions. There are already well-received AI bots and apps for depression. And while these apps cannot diagnose or treat a mental health condition at the moment, in the future, this could change as the technology has the potential to obtain massive amounts of data. And using these data, we can find new patterns to give us insights into the development of mental health issues and preventive solutions. Joshua, thank you so much for typing into the chat box and for sharing with us. As a graduating engineering student, Joshua says that he hopes to have more opportunities in our country with AI and robotics. That is wonderful. And let's move on to the second question. Now, what skill sets do you think are required to achieve the innovation you have mentioned? What skill sets do you think are required? If you have anything to share, you can just put it into the chat box. It's completely up to you. Apart from skill set, I think mindset is extremely important. And when we look at wanting to accomplish our goals, what researchers have found very interestingly, is that having a goal is important, but psychologists have found that what helps a lot is actually having an unattachment to the outcome. So the less attached, it's not that you don't care about the goal, you care about your final goal, but the less attached you are to the outcome, and the more present you are able to remain, and the more focused you are able to remain on the journey, the more fun you're going to have in the process of learning, and the better your outcomes. So present moment awareness and being able to focus in the moment is extremely helpful. And I've seen this a lot. I've seen this happen to a lot of people when they are so desperate to want to achieve a certain outcome, and they're really, really desperate to have to achieve something. They lose focus. They're not as present. They're not as mindful in the moment on the task. And this ends up affecting the quality of their project and the eventual outcome. Number 3, if you have experience in any of the innovations mentioned in today's training, do share your tips and your tricks with us. So if you have any experience in any of the innovations and you have any tips and any tricks to share, do share it with us. And if you have any additional free learning on innovation in this sector to share with us, do share it with us as well. Now, if you're typing in your chat box, you can continue to type. We will check it in the moment. First, I would like to go through additional reading materials for you that you may be interested in. Additional reading for women in innovation. Inspiring Women in Innovation, Paving the Way for New Generations by Ayoya. Latest Women in Innovation Awards announced supporting female engineers by the manufacturer. The gender effect on a firm's innovative activities in the emerging economies by MDPI. 2020 watch list, Women in Innovation by Inside Outside Innovation, and Women in Innovation, Understanding Barriers to Innovation by Ubiquity. Now, additional free training. Our topic was Empowering Women Through Technology for Sustainable Goals 5 and 17. Now, Wi-Fi needs to run smoothly, just like electricity and water, to promote financial independence for women while staying at home in the COVID-19 pandemic. But how can we achieve this? So to access this free training, all you need to do is sign up for an account at www.lovesback.com. That's www.lovesback.com. Click your account profile on the top right corner of the web page, and you will see the Learning Resources button on the yellow banner, which is on our screenshot below. And look for the course entitled Empowering Women Through Technology for Sustainable Goals 5 and 17. Signing up for an account is free to get these additional free trainings at lovesback.com. And if you have any questions and answers, do let us know in the chat box. We'll be here to answer any of your questions and any of your answers. Thank you so much for participating today in our focus session. This is our last webinar. And I would also like to thank UNESCO for your support. Yes, Joshua, there will be a certificate after the completion of the survey, which I will go into shortly. So yes, and this is the survey form via the link. So do click on the link and fill out the survey. And once completion of the survey, we will prepare your certificate of attendance. Our moderators have placed the link in the chat box. So do go to the link, go to the chat box, click on the link. Thank you for filling in the survey, and we will get your certificates ready. Great, I trust that the link is okay and everyone has opened the link and is filling in the survey. That is great. Thank you so much for joining us today, everyone. Thank you so much for your participation, for joining us in this webinar today. And once again, I would like to thank UNESCO for supporting this project with us. Thank you, Carissa, so much for joining in today. And if there's no further questions and everyone has accessed the link with no difficulty and everything's good, we hope that the information today has been useful. Thank you for showing up and for being with us this afternoon. And we will end the webinar. Have a wonderful week, everyone. I hope that the information that we have shared today has been useful for you. And if there's anything that has been of interest, do check out the links and the learning resources. Have a wonderful week.